sofa, just on the edge. They said yes to my offer of a cup of coffee from the thermos and complimented me on the cozy living room, where order had been restored now that the kids were in bed. A few prints, hardwood floor with a light-colored rug of pure wool, framed pictures of friends, children, and the two of us. The older man, who had introduced himself as Jorgensen, said, "I understand you're a bachelor for the time being." He immediately looked ill at ease. "That's right. My wife is on a leave of absence." He hesitated, so I volunteered. "Charlotta is in Spain. She's collecting material for a book about the democratization of the country." "Your wife has had an accident," said the younger man. And he continued with the same brutality on his face and in his voice. "She was in a bar this morning when a bomb exploded. I'm afraid she's dead." The older one coughed, or rather cleared his throat, and fumbled for some matches. I recalled that he had broad fingers and nails clipped short, as if bitten to the quick. "We're very sorry," he said, lighting a cigarette. It sounded sincere enough to my ears, but what are you supposed to do? What do you say? Do you cry? Do you throw up your hands? Say that it can't be true? That there must be some mistake? As I said, wild gestures just aren't my style, so I got up and went into the children's room. Stina and Jakob were asleep, Stina with her fingers in her mouth. She had spit out a pacifier. Jakob had kicked off the covers. They both smelled sweetly of milk and yogurt. I felt completely empty inside. Just thought stupidly, now they don't have a mother anymore. And then I thought even more stupidly, good thing it isn't me who's dead. After all, I'm the one who has taken care of the kids most of the time. Charlotte always travels so much. Traveled. Then I cried a little anyway, in the dimness of the children's room, before I went back into the living room. Jorgensen sat drinking coffee, smoking yet another cigarette. The younger one stood looking at my books. I lit a cigarette and took a gulp of cold coffee, brushed imaginary crumbs off the table, and carefully put my bookmark in its place. Chaos is held at bay by doing trivial things properly. What happened and where? Jorgensen leaned forward.
We don't have all the details. This is Spain we're talking about, you know. What we have is from the embassy down there in Madrid. But it seems that your wife was unlucky enough to be in a bar in San Sebastian, that's in northern Spain, when a bomb went off. Apparently several people were killed. Even more were injured. Nobody knows who planted the bomb. Some group of extremists. It seems there are a lot of terrorists in those parts.
So she was in the Basque Country.
You didn't know that?
Charlotta traveled around a lot. I got a letter every so often. I got one a couple of days ago. We talked on the telephone, but she was a big girl who could take care of herself. When was the last time you talked to her? It was the younger one who asked. He was still very interested in the books and spoke with his back half turned to me. About a month ago? She wanted to know how the children were. I didn't mention that I thought it had been a long time and that I'd been both angry and worried. That I thought she was really pushing it. From San Sebastian? He pronounced it with flat A's. No, from Barcelona, I think. There was a silence for a moment. Where is her body? I asked. The word had an ugly taste to it.
It's in San Sebastian. If you like, you can claim it yourself or let the embassy take care of it.
Now it was the older one talking again. I'll go down there myself, of course. Mr. Jensen, said the younger man, do you know exactly what your wife was doing in San Sebastian? All I know is that she was working on a book about Spain. She probably needed some information and went to San Sebastian to talk with the...